Hey everybody, thanks again for joining me, Paul Everts, on my cool show, which is entitled Band Together, Leadership Seminars. You can reach me at my email address, BAND, the number 2 together, bandtogether@comcast.net. You can also go to my website, which is conductingmylife.com, where you can go to the curriculum tab and see that I am part of the John Maxwell team. Please, I'd love to come out and be with you either virtually using Zoom or nearby our home, which is 20 minutes northeast of Sacramento, California. I'm recording this on the 9th of February around 4 p.m. my time in California, and my heart's heavy. Gotta be honest with my viewers. Diana, my gorgeous wife, is in Idaho, and she's having some Diana time because from Idaho, she can then fly over to Port Angeles, Washington to be with our grandson Jason, his beautiful mom Ashley, and Ashley's family. So a whole week. I'm telling you this because I thought maybe you could put yourself in my place right now. My heart's heavy, and that's what today's principle is. People principle number 7. It's called the exchange principle, and this is featured in John Maxwell's book, Winning with People. This is one of the 6 or 7 different classes I can instruct, which is also, I want you to know too, I have a family curriculum using John Maxwell material. Would love to work with you and your family. Speaking of that, I'm offering a special for anybody. 30 to 45 minutes, one-on-one, $20. Pretty cool. It's a good deal, actually. Then the other one is $15 a person, 6 to 12 people. I think 12 people is a good number for Zoom. All right? So if you're interested in that, and that'll be an hour session, let me come out and make a difference. I would love to, and I think we'll have a great time. In fact, you know, I don't even think, I know we're gonna have a great time. So bring me out and help you and or your team and or your family. All right, so let's move on. Here we go. People principle number 7. This is out of his section of the book called Connection. The exchange principle. Instead of putting others in their place, we must put ourselves in their place. Sometimes when you give a person a piece of your mind, you lose your own peace of mind. Of course, that peace of mind is P-E-A-C-E. So the question I must ask myself, do I try to see things from others' point of view? We've had a great opportunity to do that since March, since actually last January with the COVID. And I'm talking about people on both sides of the mask issue. We've had a chance to do that too between Trump and Biden people. Have you put yourself in that person's shoes to see how they're feeling? And I'm going to say a lot of times we haven't. We have not done that well at all. It's either my mask rule or I don't like you. That can't be. Well, it can. You just won't have a lot of people liking you. You know, if you don't like Trump, then I don't like you. You don't like Biden, I don't like you. That's too bad. And I'm a person that's done that. So I'm not a hypocrite. I'm admitting my weakness to you. That's why I have this material, because I'm a sinner. I make mistakes, and I hope to fix the mistakes. But on the other hand, both people want to have the mistake fixed. That's the other thing about mistakes. When you're making a mistake with somebody, they also want to have the mistake fixed. I'm here. I'm ready. So let's continue. Here is what I have discovered about the exchange principle. Number 1, we naturally do not see ourselves and others from the same perspective. And there's that word, Chaplain John, perspective. We've been talking about that word a lot lately on our walks on perspective. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, "We judge ourselves by what we feel capable of doing, while others judge us by what we have already done." Dr. Maxwell came across a piece called "Whose Point of View?" that captures our nature and describes it well. Here's the poem. "When the other fellow takes a long time, he's slow. When I take a long time, I'm thorough. When the other fellow does not do it, he's lazy. But when I don't do it, that's because I'm busy. When the other fellow does something without being told, he's overstepping his bounds. But when I do it, that's called initiative. When the other fellow overlooks a rule of etiquette, he's rude. But when I skip a few rules, hey man, I'm original. When the other fellow pleases the boss, it's an old term, but he's an apple polisher, ain't he? He's a brown noser. He's an apple polisher. Love that. But when I please the boss, hey man, that's cooperation. When the other fellow gets ahead, he's getting the breaks. But when I manage to get ahead, that's just the reward for hard work. I love that. That's so good. Whose point of view? Number 2, when we fail to see things from the perspective of others, we fail in our relationships. A story called The Hot Air Balloon. A man in a hot air balloon realized he was lost. He reduced altitude and spotted a woman below. He descended a bit more and shouted, "Excuse me, can you help me? I promised a friend I would meet him an hour ago, but I don't know where I am." Well, the woman below replied, "You're in a hot air balloon hovering approximately 30 feet above the ground. You're between 40 and 41 degrees north altitude and between 59 and 60 degrees west longitude." "You must be an engineer," said the balloonist. "I am," replied the woman. "How did you know?" "Well," answered the balloonist, "everything you told me is technically correct, but I have no idea what to make of your information. And the fact is, I'm still lost. Frankly, you have not been much help at all. If anything, you have delayed my trip." The woman below responded, "You must be in management." "I am. How did you know?" "Well," said the woman, "you don't know where you are and where you are going. You have risen to where you are due to a large quantity of hot air. You made a promise which you have no idea how to keep, and you expect people beneath you to solve your problems. The fact is, you are in exactly the same position you were in before we met. But now, somehow, you have managed to make it my fault." I love that story. That's a good story. How to see things from another's perspective. And that's what we're trying to do right now. I'm attempting to do. I hate the word try, sorry. We're attempting to learn this real powerful lesson. It's so hard right now because all of us are hurting to some degree. Some of us are hurting a lot. I've had students that have had a father pass away. I've had students that have had father very, very sick, very ill. Countless stories. Stories I don't even know. I've had personal stories as well. And it's hard to care about other people when so much is happening to us that we forget it's an opportunity to help somebody. And when you help somebody, it now becomes for us. I know it might sound selfish, but think about it. Stop having things happen to you. Have things happen for you. You go help somebody. Okay, as selfish as it sounds, do it with the idea, I'm doing it for me as well. I'm helping Joe. I want him to feel better. When he feels better, I feel better. Okay, here we go. How to see things from another's perspective. You're doing great. Thanks for hanging out. Number 1, leave your place and visit their place. Harry Truman said, "When we understand the other fellow's viewpoint, understand what he is trying to do, 9 times out of 10, he is trying to do right." Number 2, acknowledge that the other person has a valid point. And that is what gets me ticked off. It seems to me that there are other people whose points are more valid than mine. That fries me. Your point is no more valid than my point, as my points are more valid than your point. Points, opinions. Ooh, that gets me. That one, that hurts me. Number 3, check your attitude. And again, COVID-19, what kind of attitude are you bringing to the party? Mine sometimes can be a crappy attitude, that's for sure. Check it out. Check it out. And then finally, ask others what they would do in your situation. One more time. Ask others what they would do in your situation. Final story. In an article in the Saturday Review, Ann Landers tells what she has learned about people through the letters she has received. This is what she says. She says, since I began writing this column, I've learned plenty, including, most meaningfully, what Leo Rostin had in mind when he said, quote, each of us is a little lonely deep inside and cries to be understood, end of quote. I have learned how it is with the stumbling, tortured people in this world who have nobody to talk to. The fact that the column has been a success underscores, for me at least, the central tragedy of society, the disconnectedness, the insecurity, the fear that bedevils, cripples, and paralyzes so many of us. I have learned that financial success, academic achievement, and social or political status open no doors to peace of mind or inner security. And finally, we are all wanderers, like sheep on this planet. What are we going to do? We've almost endured this now for a whole year. What are we going to do? Talk about being disconnected. Talk about wandering like sheep. There is few things other than I've experienced in 31 years of teaching than being able to help someone get back up. Begin with the end in mind. Every choice you make is who you are, including your attitude, choosing your attitude. Seek first to understand, then be understood. And finally, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Hey, do me a favor. Would you please consider buying my book? Look at that book, Conducting My Life. And then say it with me. I am doing the best I can. I am doing the best I can. And the final time, I am doing the best I can. We are about this triangle. Respect, responsible, discipline, integrity, and faith. Be those 5 words. Make them verbs. Put them into action. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Share this. Let's get it to 100 views. Let's do it. You and me. Take care. Bye.